everyone, it's Reagan and welcome to the start of another weekend reading vlog. So, hi. This weekend I'm so unbelievably looking forward to. It's basically a weekend of nothing planned, a little bit of context. Last weekend Clay and I were out of town for a wedding, which was really fun but obviously tiring. And then next weekend I leave for London for a week. So this is kind of my weekend to get my life back together. I need to do a lot of filming, a lot of content generation for when I'm out of town. And it's also my weekend to hang out with Clay before I'm gone for a week. So the weather's actually supposed to be beautiful this weekend, but we're gonna be spending a lot of time inside. Really our only plans for this weekend is we have movie tickets tomorrow to see Joker, and that is honestly it. That being said, I have been in a terrible reading slump the last 2 weeks of October. I think I maybe have read one book in that time span, which is not the best for me. I don't know why I have been in a reading slump, but I am determined this weekend to fix it. It's funny because I actually tried to film a work reading vlog this past week, like Monday through Thursday, you know, going into this Friday. But I read only on Monday. I got no reading content within that vlog, so I think I'm just gonna scrap it and try again next week. I'm rambling now. So anyway, welcome to the vlog. Without further ado, let's chat about the books I hope to read, plan to read, all those things. So here is my stack. First and foremost, I have the Merciful Crow, which I am 75 pages in. This is the book I started on Monday and then I just didn't read since. This book really intrigues me. So far I am really liking it. I'll definitely give more of an in-depth overview and thought, but it's a kind of a really unique fantasy story that has an interesting social structure kind of centered around birds. So I'll talk more about that, but I am liking that and I'm gonna try to finish it. It's not that long, so I want to say, yeah, it's, oh, well, it's 360 pages, so I have under 300 pages left. So I definitely feel like I can finish this weekend. From there, I'm not sure what I want to read next. Fate of the Fallen is a book I got for my book of the month this month, which sounded kind of cool. And then obviously The Beautiful has been kind of on my radar as well. I want something that's just gonna really capture my attention because I've been so slumpy, which is so sad to say. And I have a lot of books coming out early next week that I want to read, so I want to read something that I'll read super quickly so I'm not like in the middle of too many books, if that makes sense. But yeah, these are my reading plans. I'm excited, so wish me luck. Aside from those 3 books, I also am of course reading Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell on the train every morning to and from work, and I did read 52 pages of that today between my morning and evening commute. I am really liking that book. It is dry, but kind of in the best way. I also like how cheeky it is, you know what I mean? Like, it definitely has the appeal of like a British period drama, but there's like actual magic every once in a while, which I just think makes it a really interesting story. Definitely different than really anything I've read before from a fantasy perspective. I will say I'm reading it pretty slowly, but I am making my way through, and I did read 52 pages today, so that was really great. So I did want to document that page count because I did do that. I did do some reading this week in the mornings and on my way home from work. But anyway, I'm now gonna immediately change to pajamas and make a cup of coffee. I am feeling so like brain dead. I just feel like I need some caffeine, get comfortable, and I'm actually gonna spend the next little bit of time organizing my plan for content this weekend, kind of outline all the videos I wanna film and like schedule them between what days and kind of just try to get organized in that way so I can like stop thinking about it now and like enjoy the rest of my night. But yeah, so I'm gonna do that. I feel like I've rambled so much, but hi. Yeah, oh man, what's wrong with me? Making some coffee, and as I'm sure you can hear, watching Great British Bake Off and just having an unwinding Friday night before I get into the task of the weekend. I need like a few hours after work to just kind of decompress. Anyone else? I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that, but it's been really, really nice, and I just love Great British Bake Off so much. Guess who's home? And he brought me home an anthropology candle. Now, if that's not true love, I don't know what it is. We're actually about to head to Trader Joe's to pick up food to cook tonight and then stuff to make breakfast for the weekend because we're having a very stay-at-home kind of weekend. So we're gonna do some cooking and all of that shenanigans. Oh yeah, my sad Halloween pumpkin that's falling apart. He's mushy. Friday night shop of all the necessities. So here is a quick grocery haul of everything we picked up from Trader Joe's. We decided to do chicken legs, which I'm a big fan of chicken legs, and chicken like dark meat is so freaking cheap too, but also it's delicious. I'm gonna make clay a Cajun one, and then I love goat cheese, so I'm just gonna stuff it full of goat cheese and eat that with steamed broccoli. And I'm gonna make rosemary garlic mashed potatoes. And then we also picked up stuff for breakfast tomorrow, including cinnamon rolls, which these were the last in the whole of the shop. But we're also doing like traditional bacon, egg situation. And we picked up stuff for chips and salsa. Delish grocery haul. Chicken is almost done, and I'm browning some garlic and some rosemary and some butter to throw in these potatoes, make mashed potatoes. It's all happening. Also so easy. And that, my friends, some mashed potatoes and some leftover rosemary. Delish. I forgot to put the broccoli in, so I'm doing that now, but the chicken is just about done in there, so dinner is about served. Isn't that right, Millie? Well, you've already had dinner, but you'll try to get more. Yep. And here's dinner. Mine has a giant chunk of goat cheese. And then there's Clay's with the Creole seasoning. Pretty good. Lots of food. Oh my gosh. Hi everyone. So after quite the Great British Bake Off marathon, we have retreated into the bedroom. Clay is taking Matilda out to the bathroom right now. But we are about to settle in for a movie. We're gonna watch Zombieland, which is one of Clay's favorite movies. Obviously the second one just came out, so I have to see the first one before we can go see the second one. I also have brought in my book, Merciful Crow. I'm gonna try to do a bit of reading tonight. Probably not a lot, but I did read 50 pages so far today in general of a different book. But I have plans to wake up tomorrow morning and get a nice chunk of reading in before I film tomorrow, so that should be great. Very great indeed. This has been such a nice night. Dinner was super tasty, and I just love the Great British Baking Show. It's just so relaxing. I just feel so calm after watching that show. I'm on the final though, so it's almost over. Breaks my heart. But yeah, so we're just gonna settle in, watch Zombieland. I'll do a bit of reading. I spent a chunk of time tonight trying to teach Matilda how to do paw. We're getting there. You know, she's like halfway there. She's trying her best. But yeah, so I'll keep you posted on that progress, but I am going to sign off and get prepped for this movie. So good night. Good morning, world. I have awoken bright and early, and I'm about to put some music on and do some serious reading because I didn't really do any reading yesterday aside from what I read on my commute. That being said, before I did that, I wanted to give kind of more information about the Merciful Crow. So this book is interesting in that before picking it up, there's kind of like a mixed review. Some people love this book and some people think it's super confusing. The world building is just like all over the place and all of that. For me, 75 pages in, I can definitely see how that perspective exists. It does not bother me, but the world is very complicated and there's no info dumps necessarily, so as a reader you're kind of just like grasping pieces and trying to put things together. And I would also say the writing style is different in that it feels very, how do I describe this? It feels kind of like you're in a fairy tale. Like it's very descriptive and kind of I was gonna say like antiquated, but not in a way that makes it like out of date necessarily. It's just more like calling back to an older storytelling style. So this is a fantasy novel, as I've pieced together so far, that kind of has its society organized by different castes, and these castes are signified by a bird. So you kind of are given, you know, a label of a certain bird, and you know which group you fall into based on the magic that you can use. So each group and each bird has like a different associated magic. So like peasants or pigeons, farmers or sparrows, the aristocrats or swans, the royal family are phoenixes, and then the lowliest class of them all are crows. And the reason why they're the lowliest class is because there is something called the Sinner's Plague, that kind of runs rampant across the land. Kind of think like the Black Plague, and it kills people instantly, and the only people immune to this plague and therefore are responsible for removing dead corpses from communities to prevent the spread of plague are the crows. And the reason why they're seen to be immune is because they were sinners in a past life, and now this life they're atoning for that by being a crow. And our main character is a crow, and she's part of this band of individuals, and in the beginning you're kind of following her as she's traveling and like collecting these bodies, and you're kind of piecing together the magic and the society through them. Some wild things happen, and she kind of gets involved with a prince and a high-ranking hawk who's like a guard to this prince. And it's very interesting. I think the magic and the organization of this world is super unique. I think the magic is super cool. I don't particularly want to give anything away if you're planning on reading this, but I just think it's a very original idea, and I appreciate that there's so much thought that goes into each of these different types of people in this fantasy world. Like, it's not just an organization, there's also purely all sorts of different types of magic, and they all have different associations. It's just a really clever and interesting world. So I don't know, I'm interested to see how this unfurls further. I'm about a little under a third of the way through, so I think I'm doing pretty good, and I think I can read quite a chunk this morning. So that is the plan. I'm gonna put some music on and make a cup of coffee, and I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy the sunshine through the window. It was raining all week last week, like seriously Monday through Thursday, so hey, at least we have sunny weather on the weekend. That's all I can say. It's kind of been nice. I feel like this year, New York, we've been very lucky on beautiful weather during the weekends. Like, it just doesn't rain on Saturdays for some reason this year. But anyway, that is what this book is about. I'm gonna jump back in and continue to read, and I will keep you posted as I get further along. As I said, I think I'm like 75 pages in of this book, which is about 369 pages. No, 73. It's 373 pages. So I'm a little under 300 pages left. So wow, I'm making great progress. Okay, goodbye. Hi everyone, I just wanted to check in because I have been doing quite the chunk of reading. I am on page 137, so I've read over 50 pages so far, and I'm gonna keep going. But I wanted to check in because I'm loving this book. I finally have settled into the world and the characters. Initially the perspectives are a little jarring just because the world is so unique and you're just trying to like get settled in the world and how people communicate. But now, which in a way made me feel like the writing style was like more of a fairy tale, but I kind of take that back. I think it definitely has the perspective in the writing of like what you would expect in a YA novel. It's just the strappings of the world are just a little more complicated, but like again, once you get settled in, it gets really interesting, and there's just so many cool dynamics. Particularly, our main character is a female, and she's part of the Crow cast, and she, as I mentioned, is like agreeing to help this prince who is trying to be assassinated by his mother and also his guard. Their dynamic is really, really interesting, because basically she's like protecting them, but also in so many ways they're learning so much about the lower castes in the world and kind of how the world works, because they're obviously incredibly privileged. And then also just kind of like maneuvering through this world is super interesting, just like going from town to town and just seeing. I just feel like it's really creative and I'm liking it a lot. So I'm gonna keep reading, but I wanted to check in and say that I am a huge fan of this book so far. So I feel like I'll have no trouble finishing it this weekend. Look who has graced us with their presence. First Matilda, who's now basking in the sun, and Clayton, who is playing his Madden football. Good reading news is that I have passed the 200 page mark of Wicked Crows, and I am now going to venture into filming 2 of the 4 videos I want to film this weekend. So I'm gonna get this out of the way, and then Clay and I are gonna make a tasty breakfast and then start the rest of our day. We're also gonna shoot some fun photos today too, which we're both excited about. So check out my Instagram because they will be up. But anyway, time to get to filming. I have officially finished filming and we're about to start breakfast, which I'm so thrilled for because I am starving. And we're also gonna watch the finale of the Great British Bake Off, which Incredibles. Incredible stuff. Truly an incredible Saturday is unfolding in front of us. Clay made a delicious breakfast and we're watching Bake Off. Obsessed. To find out more, go to my Instagram. Hi everyone. A bit of time has passed since I have checked in, but I promise it's because Clay and I have just been like busy, being super productive, full honesty. First off, and most importantly, we got our flu shots. So I'm really proud of us. We just kind of walked into a pharmacy. It was so easy. Anyone hasn't gotten their flu shot yet, go get your flu shot. My mom keeps telling me it's gonna be a really bad flu season. She's not a doctor, so I can't confirm or deny, but that's what she says. 2, I picked up some fall flowers. I thought these were kind of interesting. There's like a cabbage in there, so that's cool. 3, Clay and I took our Halloween post preview with his Scoops Ahoy outfit. It's on my Instagram now, so if you haven't seen it, go check it out. And now we have about an hour until we have to leave for the movie. I haven't read since I read this morning, but I'm now gonna sit down and read some more. I read to page 200 this morning, so 125 pages, which means I've read 175 pages so far this weekend, which I'm pleased with, and I'm gonna read more prior to the movie. I'm so excited to go to Alamo Drafthouse tonight. Oh gosh. Chicken fingers are gonna be consumed, ranch, and popcorn, like my favorite things in the whole wide world, so it's gonna be great. I'm actually gonna change out of the skirt I put on to take a photo and put my jeans back on and get all comfy and ready for the movie. And we are about to depart. We are going to see Joker, and I'm really excited about it. Actually, I'm a little nervous. I'm worried it's gonna be too scary, but I am excited for the chicken fingers. I'm just wearing my favorite J. Crew coat that I now own in 2 colors, and a sweater, and my sneakers. We're going.
Just like.
And we're back at Alamo. Who's surprised? Hi everyone. We're back home from the movie. I loved my chicken fingers and popcorn. Honestly, the movie I don't think was for me, to be honest. Did not love it, and I love comic book movies, but that one just like particularly wasn't for me. You're sitting on my bookshelf now. But now that we're home, I definitely feel like I need a palate cleanser. So I'm gonna do a bit of reading tonight, and then Clay and I are gonna start a new TV show. I think we're gonna start Dairy Girls, just to kind of watch something funny. Which I think it'll be really fun. So that is our plan for tonight. But yeah, I did want to check in post-movie and basically say, no thank you. Good morning everyone, and happy Sunday, and welcome to one of my most favorite Sundays of the whole year, and that is Daylight Savings Sunday. Daylight Savings is a bit of a mixed bag with me, but I love it when I gain an hour, and I hate it when I lose an hour. But this Sunday, I gained an hour. It's so early. I've gotten a full night's sleep, and yet it's so early. So I have so much of my day to accomplish everything I could possibly dream. Generally speaking, for some reason, well, not for some reason, obvious reasons, I just get so productive on these days, and I just feel accomplished and amazing. So I'm looking forward to this Sunday. Last night, Clay and I stayed up and watched probably 7 episodes of Dairy Girls. It was so funny and charming. I could not stop watching until honestly I fell asleep. So that being said, I did not read anything, but because it's so early in the morning, I'm gonna start reading now, and I foresee no issue getting a good chunk of the way through, and then I'll jump over to a new book, which I still haven't decided what I want to read next, but regardless, I'm gonna actually try to like sit here this morning and finish this book before I do anything else. I do need to film today and shoot a few more Instagrams. I want to film at least 2 more videos, and I need to edit, but there's plenty of time for that. So I'm gonna dedicate the next like 2 hours to finish the last 160 pages of this book, and I should be able to do that. So all right, I'm gonna get to reading, and I will check in with you guys as I get further along in the story. Got lots of good reading in. I've read 60 pages so far, but I needed to do a quick break to show you Matilda this morning. She's kind of backlit, so it's hard to see, but she's just a snuggling queen. I am gonna take a quick break from reading and take a shower and then make a coffee, and then I'm gonna get right back to finishing it. It's so good. I'll do a kind of an overview of my thoughts in a minute, but I just want to shower first. Mandy, you're so cute. We have tragically run out of espresso, but I found these that I forgot we had, which are like limited edition Madeline coffee pods. So I'm making that. I'm gonna put some milk in it because I made milk. So delicious. It's also still not even 10 a.m. yet. Thriving. As promised, I am back with an update. So I have 100 pages of this book left, so I'm definitely making my way through it, and I plan to finish it right now after I give this update. But I'm really liking this book. I really enjoy the setting and the world and all of this different magic associated to these different birds, and essentially like the magic is directly associated often with like what these different people do. And the crow magic is just so cool and interesting and gruesome, just kind of like their jobs, which is to, you know, deal with dead bodies. And our main character is kind of being torn between worlds right now, and her duty to her, you know, the people she grew up with and her like adopted father, and then also this mission to help this prince, because if she helps this prince, overall it could improve the lives of all crows across the land because they are just treated so poorly. And throughout this entire journey, it's just like a meeting of worlds, and that everyone is kind of gaining perspective and kind of overcoming stereotypes in some ways, but also it's mostly just a lesson for the prince to be like, oh, like people have told me I'm good, but like I guess I'm not as good as I thought I was, kind of thing, which I think is a really interesting perspective. The combat's really cool. The angst is there, definitely some angst, definitely some romance, and I don't know, I'm just really enjoying it and I'm flying through it. I would say like the first 50 or 60 pages were a little disorienting because there's no like info dump, if you will, which ultimately I feel like has served this book well, because kind of once you get oriented in the story, like everything begins to flow, the characters really grow on you, the writing style grows on you, the magic begins to make sense, everything kind of clicks into place, and I'm just loving it. I'm flying through it. Millie's just staring at me like, why are you talking? But yeah, so it's still not even 10 a.m. I'm gonna drink my cup of coffee and I'm gonna work my way through the final part of this book and finish it up, and then I'm gonna plan my videos for the day and figure out what I wanna read next, because I have nothing on the docket but reading and watching TV. Probably some more Dairy Girls, because that show is freaking hilarious. Okay, but I'm gonna get to it, so goodbye. I have finished my book and I will talk to you guys in a minute, but first I'm getting the football game on and I'm gonna help Clay make breakfast. We're doing cinnamon rolls today. Love it. And breakfast is served this morning with a scramble, and I made the cinnamon rolls. Delish, delish, Matilda. Matilda is dreaming really hard and softly barking.
We may have another defensive penalty. Eddie Goldman, the nose tackle.
Chasing something good in those dreams of hers. Bears game not going so hot, but I am about to film my 2 videos I need to film today, and then I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna read next, and then we are gonna spend the rest of the day doing just this, sitting on the couch. Hey Matilda, you comfortable? You driving? I mean, honestly, I don't even know what to say right now. Well, enjoy your Sunday, Millie.
As we now have under 4 minutes to go. So the Eagles staging another long, slow drive like they did in the first half.
Yes. Give me the rubs, please.
We ran a very vital errand so I could pick up some Cheetos, and we got coffee, and now Clay and I are actually gonna play some video games. We got the new Call of Duty game, so we're gonna play together and bond and such. So that's what we're gonna do. We have barely bonded this weekend, so we figured it was time to play some Xbox. Hi everyone, it is already pitch black outside and it's like just after 5. Winter is here. We are done playing Call of Duty and we ordered some food, and I think we're actually gonna sit down and watch a movie, but I wanted to, sorry I'm getting comfortable, I wanted to take a second to chat through what I plan to read next, because I have decided on my next book and my initial, well, my final thoughts on The Merciful Crow. And they basically are that I really liked this. I was super slumpy for the past week and a half, and I was just like, nothing was really clicking. And then I picked up this book, and first what captured me was the really unique world and the magic, and just kind of its It's also very grim, like it's kind of a dark world as well, which I like. And then as you get further along and settled, you realize how much you grow attached to the characters and all of their story arcs, and also the drama of the plot was just really compelling and propelled me through the story. I would say like some of my like minor complaints would be like, it's kind of short. I think it could have benefited from more, I don't want to use the word world building because I feel like that was pretty distinct, but just like more time and places, if that makes sense. But I don't, you know, like I think that would only add like additional layers of richness to the story, but I felt like everything about this book was solidly completed. I actually don't know if there's going to be another one. I would like for there to be more books in this series, but I really have no idea. But yeah, I just got really attached to everyone. I really like that everyone was like flawed, and I also feel like the decisions that people had to make were kind of rock and a hard place in a lot of ways, and just like kind of going through the decision process and their adventure slash, I would call it more of a journey than an adventure, what didn't look that fun, was just great. And I don't know, I just thought I'd really recommend this. I thought it was a really clever and interesting world, and ultimately kept me super entertained. And I finished it this morning, so that is awesome. Which means I've read about 350 pages so far this weekend, which is super solid. It's still like pretty early on in the evening, but Tilda is on my legs, but I'm gonna grab my book I want to read next. I feel bad to disturb her, but Millie, I need to get up. Need to get up. Need to get up. She's like, no, come on. That's not the way, come on. Don't go off on the table. Millie, come on. There we go. All to say that the book I've decided to read next is The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. It's a little longer than I was anticipating, only in that like I really want to read The Toll right when it comes out, so I'm just hoping this is super entertaining and something I fly through, but we shall see. But this is what I'm gonna pick up next, a nice vampire novel to keep me entertained. Can't wait. We have started Watchmen because that started premiering, and we have a pizza that arrived. It's Sunday night, everyone. Yeah. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. But so far Watchmen is incredibly confusing, but good. So I'm curious to see how it's gonna unfold. Hi everyone, so we watched the 2 episodes of Watchmen that are out. So far I'd say Clay and I are enjoying it. We're both incredibly disoriented and have no idea what's going on. And it's definitely hooked us enough to keep watching. There's definitely been some wild end of episode moments that have kind of left our mouths agape, if you will. We're definitely intrigued, and we're gonna, you know, keep watching every week. But I have now come into the bedroom to do some more reading. I'm gonna start The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh, which is that vampire inspired story. Not inspired, it has vampires in it. So I'm really excited to see how I like this book. I'm really hoping it just completely captures all my attention and I just read 200 plus pages tonight. That's my goal for the evening, is to read about 200 pages of this. So we shall see, but I'm gonna get started now, and I'll check in as I, you know, uncover more of what this book is about and how I feel about it. Also, hi Millie. Someone described this book on Goodreads as if Twilight and The Cruel Prince met and became a book. And for me, that is a huge selling point. Also, like, I devoured Twilight. Like, if something could give me the same feeling as Twilight, that's a win in my book, because I could not put Twilight down when I read it for the first time in middle school. So anyway, I'm gonna start reading this now. I looked over and Clay was just playing Sudoku on his iPad. I'm dating an 85-year-old man.
Who doesn't like Sudoku? Gotta keep your mind sharp. In retirement. Boom!
Hey everyone, quick reading update. I've just passed the 50-page mark, and I feel like I have enough context now to kind of give you initial thoughts and also describe what this book is about. So, as I said, this is a YA vampire-centered story, which I'm hoping is full of all sorts of drama. More so though, it's set in New Orleans, and I want to say like probably turn of the century. We follow our main character, who basically has traveled to New Orleans to start a new life from France. So she was a like clothing person, dressmaker in France, but right now she's in a convent with a bunch of other girls as they try to like get settled in their new life. I'm very intrigued so far. I'm really enjoying the atmosphere quite a bit. You're mostly obviously following our main character, but we kind of are jumping to some other vignettes of some mischievous happenings in the city. I do think like a vampire story set in New Orleans just inherently is really fun, and I also appreciate the historical setting of it all. So 50 pages in, so far so good. It's also a fast read. I feel like I read those 50 pages super quickly. I mean, the font is huge, I won't lie to you, so that might be part of it. But regardless, just wanted to check and let you know I've read the 50 pages, and then I'm gonna keep going tonight and try to read as much as I can. Hi everyone, and welcome to the end of the vlog. The next day, I just wanted to check in and chat through all the books I was able to read this weekend. First and foremost, I read the last 300 pages of this. I want to say I was on page 75. Oh, I guess just slightly under the last 300 pages of The Merciful Crow, which I really ended up liking. This book really kind of totally captured my attention from page one. I thought it just had one of the most unique worlds, and I just loved every second of it. So I was really happy I was able to honestly just fly through this book this past weekend. So this was the first book I completed, and then of course I also read 52 pages of Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell on my commute on Friday, which I'm really liking. I also read another 50 pages today, which doesn't count because it's Monday, but it was great. I'm really liking it. Things are starting to kind of heat up a little bit. There's just more magic, and characters are kind of colliding in ways I wasn't expecting, and I'm just really here for it. And then from there, speaking of magic, I was able to read 125 pages of The Beautiful last night before I fell asleep. So far, this book really is intriguing me. It's kind of giving me everything I wanted from it. It's a atmospheric, historical fiction vampire story. It's pretty angsty. It has good atmosphere. It's cheesy but not too cheesy, which I feel like is a tricky line to walk sometimes. So far I like the main character. She's very intriguing, has lots of secrets, which, you know, one would expect, but honestly just giving me all the Vampire Diary vibes, like, because remember Klaus, you know, he was in New Orleans for a little bit, so like give this a bit more of a historical time period than, you know, that spin-off show. So for that reason, I kind of have like a very big soft spot for it in my heart. Nothing has happened to make me like fall in love with it yet, but I just really want to love it, so I think that's kind of what's really making me so excited. To be fair though, it is engaging, and I like the writing style so far, and I'm intrigued. So definitely pumped to continue to read this, and it's also making me want to re-watch Vampire Diaries, because I actually never finished the series. That is a tangent, but true. So all in all, I think I read just under 500 pages, which I'm honestly really pleased with. I was battling a reading slump, so being able to read this much this weekend felt great because I'm trying to get out of that reading slump. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon with another one soon. Goodbye.